Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Tuesday, August 25th, and we are looking back at the charts, and it's a bit choppy today, not gonna lie. It's there's nothing really good that I like at all. So just keep that in mind, guys. There's not a lot of, how would you say, like a lot of winners. A lot of good pairs that I think are gonna be winners today. I am looking at Nasdaq, and I think this is the only trade that I may trade today. Just because everything else just looks just again like really choppy. Like I think the best pair that I see in my opinion is Euro NZD. Oh, and also, like, if you guys didn't see my markup on the chat, my UJ trade, so I got stopped out into profit about yesterday right over here, on this big push all the way up. And so yeah, just currently waiting to see what we're doing right now. I don't know if we're gonna, in the 1 hour we're around the 800 EMA, so maybe we go to that level and just basically reject it again. Wait a couple of days. Today we just basically try going up and reject it, and then tomorrow we see a continuation for that downtrend. So I just basically I'm just gonna react to what the market's telling me. But that big push does tell me something that there's buyers in control clearly right over here. So just gonna wait and see. Excuse me. I'm just gonna wait and see what we're gonna do here. I still wanna, I still like the idea of taking it short toward the level that I have previously, and still short bias on it. So, long term, it's a bit of a, I guess, how would you say, still short bias in my opinion. We still have the EMA short bias. We just have, I guess, again, we have just have like these choppiness. Like we go up, we reject this level, and then we are, going up. So I think we're still gonna make a lower high from here. I don't think we're gonna break the highs. This is just my opinion, but I don't see how price action breaking and then making a new high. It is making higher lows from right over here, as you can see. But we'll see. We'll see what we do here. For me personally, I don't think it's gonna personally like break the highs. We are at this level right now. Let me mark it up. Sorry for the drawings. I'm just, I like having a lot of drawings in my chart. It doesn't really confuse me, because I'm such an analytical person when it comes to trading, where I like seeing everything, like all the things in the charts specifically. But I don't, just remove this. But we are rejecting off the level right over here previously. So I want to see what we do here. So right over here, I think one of the major levels is around here as well. Okay, right there. And then the next level will be right over here with this bearish divergence zone. So that will be the next level that we'll be looking at. So I'm curious to see what we do here. Like, again, from the bottom, we are making higher lows, as you can see here. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Yo, what's going on, Sonny? But personally, let me just remove all of this. But personally, I don't know. Just it's making higher highs from here. It's making higher lows from here. But I don't think we're gonna like break out of this range. This is just my opinion. Just because we are like, I think this is just a move. Like usually, typically what you're gonna see, especially on like a trend, you're gonna see some choppiness like this, where it's gonna be ranging kind of like a higher low, higher high. But I think eventually it's going to create like kind of a wedge. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. Kind of like a wedge right over here. And then we're eventually going to break out of that wedge, which I think personally that, this is kind of, for me, this is for me what I see it's kind of like a bullish wedge. I forget what the correct actual term is, but I feel like we're just going to see a breakout toward the lows eventually, but that's just my opinion. Just because I don't really see it, breaking down, going above the 800 EMA on the 4 hour and just breaking. Obviously the trend has been bearish for quite some time, and yeah, we're seeing, I guess a rejection off, these levels, high low, higher highs. But to me, for what I'm seeing on the price action, I don't think it has a lot of potential to just to literally like break out for the new highs. This is just my opinion. So we'll see what we do here. Um, we'll see what we do on the next kind of like today and tomorrow, and see where price action is going to be going with these two levels right over here. If we continue making higher highs and higher lows and respecting this wedge, or are we going to make a lower high from right over here, go all the way down and break this wedge, or just respect the wedge, go again up and making higher highs right over here. So yeah, that's currently what I'm looking at. Let's just see what we do here. Remove all drawings. Let me see this real quick. But yeah, currently I'm just looking at UJ. I don't think I want to trade it today at all. I mean, technically you could try trading it once it breaks the 50 for continuation to go bullish, but I'm not going to do that. Just because, again, for me, it would even be even a probable trade. I don't mind trading against my direction, my overall bias, because as a trader, you're not supposed to marry an idea. But I'm not gonna. It's just a low probable trade, and GN just looks choppy right now. I don't really think it's even high probable either. I could see it, falling off from over here. So we have bullish divergence. So I could see it being bullish today for sure on GN, just because we saw that, I guess, like we saw that kind of like that, just a big drop right over here, and now we're seeing basically it kind of respect this level, I'll say, or just around the around the low right over here. So yeah, I'll say around the low, around that section. So the idea makes sense to me in a way where like it's it goes up, pulls back to the 800 EMA. There's bullish divergence on the 800 EMA, which is kind of interesting to see. So it's kind of like, if you look at the 1 minute, our entries are off the 800 EMA, and this is off the 15-minute 800 EMA. So it's quite an interesting idea. So we have, again, bullish zone right over here. So we'll just see. I don't know. But I definitely think that this could go up today. But the term is it worth my money? Probably not. To be honest, it is making higher lows, breaks of 50. So we could see a break toward a new high of day today on GN. So the idea makes sense to me, but again, not worth my money. EU, just it's doing its thing. Like, I don't really like it. Nasdaq, I think we're gonna fall down to the 200 EMA, to be honest. So I may trade it off to 200 EMA. because there's no clean divergence from what I see on the 50. EN, nothing really nice. I think EN would be the most probable pair to trade this today, just because of the EMAs and the liquid 50. Um, and obviously, like you're taking it along, so EN is a pair that has been long biased for quite some time, but it is swapping liquid 50. So I think this has potential to take it for it to have like a good potential trade. So I don't know. I like the idea of EN, but we'll see if I actually want to take it. Once we see the trade, I guess trade idea present itself. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Like that's all what I'm looking at. You know, GN not really in my watch. Like not really something that I want to trade today. EU, no. Nasdaq and Euro NZD will be one of the things that I'll be looking to trade today. Um, we got some bullish divergence here finally, but we'll see. I think we're still going to continue going falling on this pair, just because I don't see anything slowing down at the minute, and I don't like trading in that momentum. So if it slows down, then maybe, but um, that's not something that I want to trade with that momentum being there. Also, leave a like, guys. Greatly appreciate it. I don't personally see it as an A1. I don't know. I would like to see more risk to reward if I see an A1 entry. I don't know. It's just it doesn't look good to me for an A1 entry. I would be beware of an A1 entry because yeah, candle formation happened right over here, but it just looks like that's an overextended candle first of all. So I would even want to like consider trading it. And this thing goes about just 1 hour on it, so it doesn't look good for structure. Like it is holding the the 21 EMA. But look at these wicks. Just look at price action. It tells you something clearly what price action wants to do. It's just choppy to me. So I don't personally see it something coming out like something clean off the resistance 121 pivot 21 EMA. And if it was like maybe I'll be risking about 10 pips on your NZD, something like this to determine risk to reward. I would like to see more than 2R my before the high. Because to be honest, divergence could form. That's a basically a room for divergence to form, and just basically break out. Which divergence could form. I could see it forming um, on this next push up. And that's just because looking at the RSI, how it's rising and now it looks like it's stagnating now. It's starting to range, which is it's a high. I don't know. Like for me, it's a way that I can not I guess predict when divergence is going to form, and it helps me just to stay out of the trades because it's just looking at price action, looking at what the RSI is doing. So instead of rising, it's kind of like starting to range now toward the buy zone, and that's clearly something where again you could see it basically go up from right to be here. Let's just say price actually tries to make a new high. Goes all the way up, completely fails the high, and then falls down and makes bullish divergence. And then from there, like it can wick out and then just come all the way down, stop you out really hard. So maybe you can take 1R on it, but personally, I don't want to trade that. And not a lot of traders look at that. Like I think I'm the only one in AceFX who can actually determine proper divergence about to form. And it's just literally, again, doing my work, doing my back testing, doing markups. If everyone in AceFX, if you guys are not doing markups, then you guys are missing out on a lot of stuff. One of the things that I became so profitable and how I managed to make, just consistent profits every single month is because of markups. Because I do that consistently. Now, I haven't been doing this much this week or last week because of just my vacation and my planning, but I really got to pump those numbers up just because it's my edge. I feel like doing my markups is part of my trading edge that allows me to just, enter the markets every single day and execute properly. So for me, I think it's going to fall down toward the 50 EMA. I don't think it's going to hold the 21 EMA. Now, if it breaks through the 21 and goes to the 50, then I will look to trade that because there's enough room for me to get 2R toward the high, and so I don't have to worry about divergence forming. So I would look to take that. I'm interested to see what kind of stocks we're looking at today. We got CGIX. What is that? What the frick? Like, what is that? Like 333%? Is that what it's saying? Which makes sense because it's a biotech. It's a biotech company. Oh yeah, it's up like what? Like 300%? 3.35. Like it's not. I don't think it's 3%. So the change is 3.5% on pre-market, but it's 100. It's 115.52% change. So which is fucking insane. Sorry for forecasting, but anyway, so that's insane. 100% on pre-market. Holy, that's a lot. Like I've seen stocks go up to 500%. So. But like just saying that, at least the last couple of months, I haven't seen those movers. I think in the summer I saw a bit more movers like that, but like in the beginning of the summer, but I haven't seen stuff like that since like I guess June or July. But makes sense because it's a biotech company. So I think it went up all the way down. Like what is it like from $1 a share, I believe. Yeah, like actually like $2 a share, 2.80 cents, and goes all the way up to holy jeez, look at this wick, to about $10 a share. So I don't know. There's no stock split or anything like that. So it's probably just a news a catalyst for what the news that's happening right now with the coronavirus. So I don't think there's no news event unless earnings was 13th of August. But I doubt that's what changed this big insane drop. So honestly, on the 15-minute, there's a lot of volume on this stock right now, which is interesting. Very interesting to see this kind of stock have a lot of volume. But it's been basically, I guess I'm betting the short sellers took a hold of this trade and just basically selling it all the way down. So I want to see what we do toward the 1 minute 50. Um, so if you guys don't know, divergence does work in stocks. Standard deviations work as well. So currently I'm trying to create a system for stocks, a little bit more into stocks. The stocks, they're not, it's a bit more choppy, but indicators obviously work. For people telling you that indicators don't work in stocks, that's a complete lie. I have my cousin who owns his own hedge fund. He's like a momentum trader in stocks. He makes such a killing, and he just trades off Bollinger Bands and two standard deviations or whatever. So complete lie when people tell you that indicators don't work in stocks. And I've seen him trade with like like freaking he trades such big share size. Holy, I don't even know how he does that. Yeah, so I guess the biotech companies are up today, which makes sense. Biotech company. Airline stock. Which this one makes sense to me. We could try short, like, I don't know. I don't like shorting stocks because I like trading with the momentum, but I could see it. I guess the short sellers coming in this level at $23 a share. I could see that happening. VL still up from yesterday. If you guys remember, like the live stream yesterday, I think our target was right over here. We were trading during the pre-market, or we were looking at the pre-market. If we go to 15-minute, from right over here, just completely demolishes that, and then today we go up to about $6 a share. So I want to see what we do here with this resistance. But I think I like Son for sure. Not Son, CGIX, my bad. Son, I don't know. I don't really see. If you look at the daily chart, it's basically it's a crap stock. Literally, it's just been dropping ever since. That's hilarious. Holy. Pretty sure it's not even in the Nasdaq exchange because it turned into a penny stock. But it was literally in the highs of $3,000 in what is it, 2006. It's just literally been dropping ever since. I think a stock split happened. I think they had a stock split. That's usually what happens right over here. Stock split happened. I think the gap up right over here. Whenever the stock split happened, and then it, basically just fell all the way down. Respecting the 50 EMA on the daily chart. But this thing has definitely potential. If it were to have like a really catalyst like kind of news event, this thing has literally potential to like gap up like 100%, 200%, and enough room to 200 EMA. So with this gap that you saw right over here, it went all the way up to $7 a share. We saw a gap today too. So we'll see what we do here. It could be potential, but it is short bias. But we are above the 50, I guess the daily, the 50 EMA daily. 50-minute we are above the 800 EMA, which is nice. We are trying to, we are trying to make, I guess, higher highs, but not technically because the bodies of the wicks are not, I guess, rising. So we'll see what we do here. I think that's gonna be my watch list. Tortoise. No, I don't. Yeah, this thing has definitely potential to just continue going up. So a good momentum trade if you trade it off the lows. But pre-market's still up, so I think I'm just gonna have IBO. I like this kind of idea of trading it all the way up. We got some bullish divergence here. You guys are gonna think, oh my god, like that. There's not even like price action there. It works, guys. Diversion works in stocks. Now I'm still testing it, but I've been trading divergence on stocks for a long time, so I personally, in my own personal experience, I've seen it work plenty of times. It's making higher lows from here. And it's pre-market, so that's why it's choppy like that. So if you don't want to look at the choppiness, try trading it off the 50 EMA. Try trading it off the higher time frames. I could see this going up. More than 2 hours on that trade. So I like this idea a lot. So I think CGIEX, I want to see what we do in pre-market. I mean, whenever the market opens in like a couple of hours. But I think it's going to reject off the 50. We'll see if it rejects off the 50. If it does, then it's a good counter trend trade, I guess you could say. I know there's a news event with like, I guess the coronavirus yesterday, I believe, with Trump signing like an order of like, more, I guess, more proper treatment for the coronavirus, like a new treatment. I think that was 2 days ago. But I like that, so we'll see what we do there. So back at the Nasdaq. Looks like we fall down to the 50. No divergence yet. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait and see what this does. Looks like yen is still falling. The yen is still falling. So nothing really good today, guys. It's important to just stay in your trading seat and not jump to conclusions and not jump really far. Um, just because again, it's a Tuesday. We have had a really choppy and slow week. It may start speeding up later on, but again, I don't want to really rush it personally. I don't want anyone, on our team to rush it because again, it's important to just stay in your seat. You don't want to, specifically whenever the market's like this, it's so important to just look at ideas, generate ideas, and not take those ideas because most of them are going to be low probable ideas. So, just stay in your seat and just generate ideas because again, our goal here in AceFX is just to be consistent profitable traders. It's not to win on a bunch of trades. It's basically hitting home run trades or just hitting those trades consistently and making sure you're not trading every single day to trade any setup that you see or you come across to. Looks like Ian is still continuing to push down. I'm interested to see if it holds the 50 and then liquid 50 continues going on into the buy zone. I think it will with this if this it pushes up again right here. Risk to reward, it's not that bad compared to Nasdaq. Nasdaq, you know, with my kind of a trading style and system that I trade on Nasdaq, it's nothing like Forex where I have to wait for 2 hours. It's more of a scalping method. Kind of funny how literally fast he pushed down in a blink of an eye. Blinking of an eye. That kind of just pushed down so freaking fast. You could see price form some divergence right over here from just looking at the RSI and price action, which will make sense. It'll be off the 200 EMA. I'm interested to see how price action respects kind of like the low. It's making a higher low from right over here. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Just respects it. Liquid 50 still rising on the 1 minute. I want to mark this entry and see which level it's off from. Looks like it was off from that level. You see, he respects that structure. Ian is just basically falling down. Let's see if it starts slowing down and creating divergence in price action right now. I like the momentum that's hitting in right there. It makes sense. And see that? That's funny. That's really funny. You cannot mess with Nasdaq, guys. Nasdaq will literally make you broke. Volatility on it is insane. I want to see what it does from here. See if it breaks the 50, which I think it should break the 50 with the next continuation of that momentum candle. And holy crap. It's just literally going up and down. That's insane. Just really, really undecisive. So you have to be a little bit careful with trading Nasdaq, because it's just undecisive. It doesn't know what direction it wants to go. There's a bias overall, but you know, it's just really choppy. But I think with this momentum that it's showing me, I think Nasdaq will still continue trying to drop toward the pivot and to the 200 EMA. Looks like price is forming divergence, like I told you guys. Price action is falling. RSI is rising, just like I told you guys. It's all about just muscle memory. But I think with the much momentum that it has, I think it's gonna break through that divergent line and just go through. Just because there's a lot of momentum still. Look at that look at that momentum, guys. Literally from the top, just continues to drop that momentum. So I don't even like that at all. Maybe I continue trying to slow down, probably Probably off the daily pivot, but most likely off the 800 EMA. And by that point, I'm pretty sure that it's going to have a swapping liquid 50, which, for me, it hinders the possibility of it trying to go up. But I think it will try to at least have some kind of pull back or pull up whatever from this 800 EMA. But having a swapping liquid 50, I wouldn't want to trade it, especially on a Monday. But it makes sense to me that there's a possibility that it could, come up from this level, from this momentum, trading it up to around the Asia high. Just an idea. Looks like Nasdaq is just so indecisive. But from what I'm seeing, I think it's gonna continue going lower. So we're probably gonna have like a red kind of red open, or at least a red open pre-market, red pre-market, and then we'll see what happens whenever the market opens. Bullish engulfing candle. What's strange to me is that liquid 50 is still trying to rise. It's a bit falling from right over here, but it's still trying to come up. Yeah, just a lot of momentum. I could see that buyers are wanting to take control, but sellers are like, fuck, no, hell no, you're not going to take control. Just looking at the candles, you can clearly see that who's winning. Sellers are obviously winning, and they want to take this short, probably down to the 200 EMA. From what I'm seeing, buyers are still trying. They're trying their best. It's like you're gonna see like a big push up, and then the massive bear candle just break through that bearish engulfing candle. So that clearly tells me that there's a lot of momentum from at least from a lot of indecision, a lot of momentum. So for me, I don't even want to like trade it or consider trading it because it's just so much indecision. Whenever you're trading Nasdaq, it's a bit dangerous because there's going to be indecision, there's going to be momentum, there's going to be a directional change really fast. Like you're going to see it going up, like, oh, it fits my system, let me buy it, and then just go against your direction. Especially day trading. So it's a bit dangerous. So for me, it looks like the market's indecisive right now. So at least today. So I don't really want to trade anything. And plus, like, I don't know. I think it's gonna fall down today on pre-market. I think it's gonna break through the daily pivot and go toward the 200 EMA, which it'll make sense if it does. Just choppy and a lot of indecision. Maybe we'll see some even more kind of momentum whenever the market opens to short sell it. Sellers coming in. But I don't know. Maybe if it goes down to 200 EMA and I see actually good price action and good momentum and not a lot of indecision, then maybe. But at the same time, it's around 6 o'clock for me, so market opens in 2 hours. So I don't really want to trade until the market open, because one of the things, the stupidest things that anyone could do is trade until the market open. Whenever you're trading until the market open, anything could happen. Literally anything can happen. Like the main people who are making money in stocks are momentum traders, especially on like the first open, on the open of the stocks, 30 minutes, 1 hour. That is the most like the volatility is there. So the momentum traders are going to be literally just buying a zillion shares and just trying to move that specific stock, um, or short sell it or whatever. So I think it's just really important to just take advice of that, and as well as just like there's going to be a lot of volatility on the market open. If you think about it, market opens, volume kicks back up. Orders that have been, I guess put on during the night are gonna go live. Those orders are all gonna just continue going on, and then either the exchanges are gonna put those orders on the specific stocks or even the indices or whatever. So that's gonna be such volatility and such momentum, such volume there, that you don't even know what's gonna happen. And especially like if if a whale, which what I call a whale is basically big investors, big hedge funds, place like a massive order during the night, and then the order goes live on the open. Like imagine what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. I've seen sometimes the market gap up, and just imagine the gaps up on your stop loss, and you were asleep or you were looking at something else. Like man, it's a good opportunity for you to blow your account. But like usually, like again, like it's very rarely will I trade on the market open. Usually whenever I'm in my desk and I'm in profit, I'm mostly out of my position, so I can't, like, even if it does gap up or below my stop loss, I know it's not going to be like a massive loser. I know that I'm mostly out of my position. That's like the only, I guess, way where I will like hold a position during market open, or trade, I guess you could say, on market open. But other than that, like, it's just it's too volatile, it's too unpredictable. Like, you can clearly see what happened yesterday on the market open. Just like these massive candles right over here. So this happened during the market open. So price was going up pre-market, and then market open right over here. And then you can clearly see what happened here. Just insane volatility pushing it all the way down. Look at these wicks. Like, someone told me that you can make money consistently trading the market open with this. Whenever it's so unpredictable, you can't. Maybe for momentum traders, I guess if they have a really good system, but personally, I think with indices, there's so much indecision because it's indices. Like it's a volume weighted kind of, it goes all over, like, especially the Nasdaq. It goes over the tech stocks, like the technology stocks, Facebook, and all these other, like, tech stocks. They're social media like Amazon and stuff like that. Like they're in Nasdaq, so typically you're going to see much volatility on the market open with these tech stocks. So it's a bit hard. Like, it really is. Like, it's not. I think S&P 500 is a bit. Nah. I'll say S&P 500 is the same. S&P and Nasdaq are the same. Dow Jones maybe a little bit. Nah, Dow Jones. It's still. You're still gonna see insane volatility. Dow Jones specifically. I think Dow Jones has a little bit more of, I guess, how would you say? I guess a little quality control. Like, it's not as pushy, but at the same time, like, if you, the lot sizes are definitely on Dow Jones. If you're trading Dow Jones, like, 1 cent, 0.1, one micro lot, you're gonna literally, like, that's like you risking like $100 per 5 pips or 10 pips or whatever, or 15 pips. So it's like the risk averse on it. That's why I don't even trade Dow Jones, because it's stupid having to trade like a micro lot, like the smallest lot possible, and still able to lose over $100 within like 10 pips, 15 pips. So for me personally, I know a lot of people make a lot of money on that, but it's just, whenever the market's volatile, whenever there's a lot of uncertainty in the market with the coronavirus and stuff like that. I think technical analysis doesn't play a huge part in indices, in my opinion. Whenever the market's like that, I think fundamentals play a bigger part in what price action is going to do next, because again, like, it's stocks, it's fundamentals, coronavirus, global pandemic, with the China trade deal and stuff like that. It's just so much indecision. So I think, especially specifically on this part of time, I think it's a bit harder to trade technical analysis. I bet people can still get massive swings and massive trades on their system, but I think Like honestly, I think it's a little bit harder, just because of stocks are it's just fundamentals whenever it's around this time. Yo, what's up, Euro? Good to have you here, brother. Oh, looks like we didn't follow from that, so it looks like we respected the divergence on your NCD. Which is quite impressive. I wasn't expecting it to hold this divergence because of this momentum that we saw right over here, and I didn't see like a specific slowdown on it. Honestly, I don't know if we're gonna retest. I think we're just gonna like momentum's gonna kick it up. Because I was not expecting it to hold that level, so that tells me that the momentum is in really nicely. So I don't think we're gonna see a retest in my opinion. I think it's just gonna break the 50 and then just blow up, continue going up. But we'll see. Like I said again, I'm not a predictor. I'm not a god. I don't predict stuff. And just from looking at what price action is telling me. Projecting off the 50 EMA on the daily chart. See maybe a lower high from there. Typically, we do have some divergence. It's off that level that I marked up right over here, off that bearish diversion level. That's what I was afraid of. I don't know. This is kind of, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, it's a bit too early on this trade. It makes sense if you entered right over here. Liquid 50 is not up in the buys on the 50-minute RSI and through TL. Is there enough for support to take it up to the 50? about like 0.6 R, but just an idea. I want to see what this does. C setup. 50s in a way as resistance. Liquid 50-minute arc size into the GL. There's no bearish divergence, which I like, and it isn't making lower highs. Yeah, I personally wouldn't want to trade that, but it makes sense. In case people are looking at Euro NZD, it makes sense to me taking it long. I just want them to know about the 50 EMAs in the way, which, it's a resistance. There's a probability that it could bounce, but stacking the probabilities toward your side, I don't think it will, just because there's no bearish divergence. It's not making lower highs, so probabilities of it, rejecting off the 850, it's low. It's relatively low. Not like the lowest because this is a C setup, but it's relatively low. But personally, I wouldn't want to trade that just because of again, like it's in the way. So and then as well as the liquid 50 needs to go in the buy zone, and the 50-minute RSI has to go through TL. But yeah, we'll see what we do here. But it makes sense taking it long up to the probably to the I guess to the structure high right over here. And obviously you're going to see some kind of rejection off the 850. That's just normal. But if it's a reject like a strong rejection with like a bearish momentum pulling in, then that's something to where you're like, okay, so um, you know, it's something you have to be careful with. I take 70%, Joshua, but I wouldn't recommend doing FTMO unless you're profitable consistently. Again, the reason why these companies are so hard to get is because only 10% of traders, literally less than 10%, only get in. And it's only for people who are actually consistently profitable with it. It's not something like, yeah, you make money on your demo account or you make money on your, small account, and then you try going for like, one of those challenges. You have to be careful with it. You have to be, FTMO, these Forex Tips 101, they fund professional traders. They don't fund, I guess, traders like who are not really don't really have a system and a trading plan, some kind of back testing system in their hands, as well as having consistent trading plan personalized toward them. Looks like Nasdaq is just literally falling off the roof. But honestly, I think it's gonna reject, make kind of like a higher low off the 50, and then I could see it going up. But for me, like I said again, the reason why I did not get into the trade was the low probabilities of it. So I could see it, bouncing off the 50, and then liquid 50 maybe trying to get almost close to the buy zone, and then probably the 50-minute arc side going through TL because I think it's much closer than liquid 50 itself on the 1 minute. Then try entering there with your stop at the previous higher low. But I don't think I still will get in it. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's gonna break through this higher low and make kind of like a higher low from. I don't think it's gonna break the higher low right over here, in my opinion. I don't think it's gonna break the higher low from this previous level. I think it's gonna hold this level, just my opinion, and make a higher low, and then liquid 50 will still continue going up. My opinion. This is just my opinion. But at the same time, with this much momentum, there's a strong probability that it's gonna continue. It could break through this low, because if you could see here, higher low, rejects it, strong bearish momentum bar, and idea just literally comes all the way down. So I entered on UJ. The only reason I entered on UJ is because for me it's not a C setup. I grade it as a B setup. Small risk. I think I'm gonna add in later on. I'm gonna manage it a little bit more. Just because I like the idea of it. But at the same time, I know that there's a probability that it just will not go in my favor. I already have my lock stop at break even, around break even. I'll say that. But with this giant push, I know there's a probability that it just does not continue going down. But again, there's a lot of, I guess, momentum. I mean, a lot of, I guess, space to take it all the way down. So we'll see what we do here. I'm just gonna manage it really conservatively, and then I'll be adding in once I see a little bit more confirmation. But yeah, I think that's the only thing that I saw that I kind of like. I knew that we're gonna push down, but I'm in it small, so I'm not like in it like huge risk. My plan was trying to add in once I see a little bit more of confirmation, like add in my full size. But everything else, Nasdaq is trying to push off that daily pivot, but I think it's going to continue going down. So no trades for me. Technically UJ is kind of it's my trade, but that's the only thing for today. Your NZD looks like it's pushing hard. Let's see what we do here if we reject it off this kind of like, I guess, pivot. Personally, I think it's still gonna go up. I don't know. Maybe that's just my bias, but I think, I mean, it makes clearly sense that it could just let it break off this zone especially with this bar right over here, with that much of a momentum bar. Maybe it's just because of the liquid 50 being like, it's still kind of been rising, and I think it's gonna respect the liquid 50. At the same time, I'm not God. I'm not 100% right all the time, but it makes sense to me if it breaks through the zone because of that much momentum, especially with this bearish engulfing bar in the 15-minute. Strong possibility that I think for the boys entering on this trade, they got in a little bit too early, or just they shouldn't have gotten in. Like, how many times do I have to tell people that most of the time, probably like 8 out of 10 times, it's gonna reject off the 850. Now, is it going to be a strong rejection or like a little rejection? That depends on the possibility, on the probabilities. But there's going to be a rejection off it. Especially this is why I don't trade toward the 850 whenever I'm trading these D1s, because and it looks like probably most of them got stopped out of the entered. So like I think that's why it's just you have to be careful. You have to look for the possibilities, the probabilities in your side. I know that there's no way I'm entering whenever I'm trading the 850 is not, at least I know if it's not 1R, then I'm not okay trading it, because if I wanted to at least lock my stop before it reaches to the 850. So like for those people who got in, like the losses could have been avoided if you guys just waited and not trying to jump in really quickly. Like there's no point in rushing whenever everything looks just really choppy. If you're rushing in, that's more of a psychology where you're wanting to make money, you're desperate to make money, you're wanting to get in this trades and make money every single day and trade every single day. When you know that looking from your watch list, like literally everything in your watch list is not good, it's not like it's just choppy. The EMAs are ridiculous, just bad. Liquid 50 is not in the proper zones. Most of them are swapping liquid 50 and just choppy price action. That should tell you, hey, maybe I shouldn't get in early. Maybe I should, wait a little bit. for those people, you guys should have waited a little bit on that kind of a trade. It's just choppy. Choppy day. And I got stopped out. I break even in my position on UJ, so it is what it is. We'll see what we do here. I think since it just bounced from that level, from the pivot, maybe we'll see it maybe reject, still making a lower high from right over here. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So I'll continue watching it. I think I'll still like it. So I'll re-enter if we're respecting structure. Liquid 50 is up in the sell zone. The 15-minute RSI is through TL. It's overbought. If you see on the 15-minute, it's overbought all over there. There's bearish divergence on the 15-minute as well as price action is rising. RSI is falling. So for me, it makes sense. And on the higher time frames, we're off the significant level off the bearish divergence zone. And then as well on the 4-hour. It's off. Actually, on the 1 daily, it's off the 50 EMA right there, as you can see. And I believe on the 1 hour, I think we're off a level. No, we weren't, but we were off that bearish divergence zone. So for me, I like it. There's a lot of confluence in that side, as well as again, I'm a bear on USD JPY. What could I say? So I'm really bearish on USD JPY, and I've been taking it short really well. As you can see here, short. So I'll take it short from over here. I'm gonna find that breakout, guys. When I'm telling you guys that I'm trying to trade it toward this zone right over here, I will trade it toward that zone, whether you guys like it or not, whether like the market likes it or not. I'm gonna wait for the breakout, which it's gonna probably take a long time, to be honest. But I'm gonna wait for that breakout. Hopefully I don't miss the breakout, and it's gonna break out all this wedge. It's gonna break out all the previous zone, previous level that we had over here. And we're finally going to break it and go toward, the monthly low of July. It's going to happen. Maybe this month, maybe next month, I don't know when. But it's going to happen. So I'm going to wait for it patiently and see what we do there. But I don't know. I make most of my money shorting USD JPY because it's just, I just do really well with it. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. Everything looks kind of chopped a little bit at the minute. I think Nasdaq will continue pushing down. I personally think maybe UJ will see a push down too. UNTD. What happened here? Okay, UNTD. I think they were just a little bit early. I don't know. So maybe a D1 off the daily pivot. That wouldn't be something. It's not the most high probable trade. But if it breaks through the pivot, it's probably going to hold the 800 EMA, which is my original idea, because there was a lot of momentum over here. So I thought, it's going to continue pushing down, break through the 200 EMA, which it did right now. And so I'm thinking that it will go down to the 800 EMA, present a D1, probably D1 right over here, and then you guys can try trading it off, kind of like the Asia high right over here. So that would make sense to me. The same time, it's just like it's probably going to be swapping liquid 50 whenever it goes down at that time. And I don't know, it's nothing for me. Like it looks like it's still kind of respecting the divergence right over here. So I think maybe you guys are just a little bit early. So now, okay, so for this, let's just say there is an actual D1. I would wait probably for the 50 to go down a little bit lower. But if I was going to trade the first break of the 50, let's just say the break of the 50 happens right over here. Also, so much knowledge. I'm giving out so much knowledge right over here. But if the 50 was right over here, I put my stop loss at the low. And so the 50 was right over there. I would, and there's about 1 R toward the 850, which is right over here. I would trade that. I would for sure trade that because, I can get enough risk to reward to take it up to the 850, lock my stop, and take some profits. And if it goes against my direction, at least I'll take home with me some money, and I won't, lose on that trade. So that would make sense to me. That would physically make sense to me. If the 50 was right there and I traded the first break of the 50. But again, it's low prob, so um, I personally wouldn't even do that. But it makes sense. Maybe we'll see a rejection. Maybe some kind of structure, a continuation of that structure, bounces off the zone right over here, bounces off the zone. Just continues, breaks the 50, breaks the 850, and just continues going up. That makes sense to me. I think maybe you guys were just a little bit early, and as well as the 850 being just so clustered to where the entry was, most of the entry was. I think you guys should have been a little bit careful with that. But I think you guys are just early. Remember what the ASIFIX system state. Most of the time we're going to be early, not wrong on our bias, on our trade setup, on our trade idea. So don't quit on the trade idea. Remember to come back to the trade idea and just wait patiently for the trade setup to present the proper levels and for the probabilities to increase. All right, guys. So I think that's pretty much it for the stream. Um, yeah, just I think you guys are just a little bit early on EN. I think it's gonna probably just continue pushing up if we hold the structure off the pivot and 200 EMA, then we could see a push all the way up, probably to maybe the new high. I mean the previous high. So yeah, that's just kind of my idea on it. No trades today. It's 7 USD GPY, which I got stopped by a break even. So um, yeah, we'll just see what we do here. Um, I think for me personally, like I want to see, you know, for usually GPY, it's gonna be just a little bit tad. Like I entered again on usually GPY, but I'm a little bit again like my risk is not like a lot, and I'll be adding in once I see more confirmations on it. So I entered right over here again as we make a lower as we made a lower high on the 1 minute right over here. As we made a lower high right over here. You know, holy crap, that momentum. That's funny. But anyway, so I entered right over here, stop at here, and holy jeez, that strong momentum bar. Maybe we'll see a continuation of that momentum. But yeah, I entered right over here. Um, I didn't close profits at 1R because at 1R because again, this is more of a swing trade, kind of a swing trading bias. So I didn't enter on it. Um, like I didn't close half of my positions at 1R because this for me this is not a day trade. I'm kind of like trying to swing it toward you know, toward the 50, and that's just because of again my overall bias on using JPY, and I'm trying to find that entry that we finally break through, you know, the 50. So yeah, just an idea. You know, I'll close about half once we reach 2R. And yeah, just basically gonna look, just, you know, lock stop at break even, and we'll see what we do here once we see, like, I guess more momentum kicking in. And so for your, again, you're in ZD, I think you guys are just a little bit early on it. So props if you guys wait for the reentry. I think, you know, there's more probable. I think it'll be more probable to take it all the way up to the bullish, to be, you know, bullish or whatever. And there's enough risk to reward to take it up to the 850 to lock your stop and, you know, close at least some profit. So, um, yeah, that's currently what I'm looking at. And yeah, hopefully you guys have an awesome freaking Tuesday. Let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. Direct message me on Instagram again if you guys have any other questions. And yeah, just, you know, direct message me. New video is gonna be coming out today with, I guess, a Tesla stock with the five-way stock split that's happening on the 31st, I believe. So yeah, it should be a good informative video. Check out the new video that I posted yesterday with me and Barrett, that use the GPY trade recap. And yeah, hopefully you guys have an awesome freaking Tuesday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday. Happy hump day.